First up right now, the race for governor really got tighter today after Erin Stewart suspended her campaign. A new report accused her of misusing a city credit card while she was the mayor of New Britain.
And tonight, state police are confirming they are investigating as 2 Republicans are now vying for a spot on the November ballot. Amanda Callahan is your reporter live in New Britain after speaking with them both. Amanda.
Mark and Erin, it was here at New Britain City Hall where the investigation into Erin Stewart began. That a report alleges she spent more than $200,000 in purchases. Now today she suspended her campaign, but her former opponents, Fazio and Betsy McCaughey, say she made the right decision. $207,076. That's how much money an independent report says former New Britain Mayor Erin Stewart spent from 2016 to 2025 using a city-issued credit card. The report says only a handful of those purchases were reimbursed by Stewart. City policy says the card can only be used for authorized purchases, but the investigation found Stewart consistently used it to fund routine living expenses, and there was no legitimate connection to official city business. Receipts included tens of thousands of dollars were spent on Amazon items used at her family's birthday parties, clothing she wore, grocery items, and even her membership to the Hartford Club. The report calling this incomprehensible for a public official. Did you read the report?
I read parts of it, of course, as one does in the course of this process.
Stewart threw her support behind Republican candidate Fazio, calling on her supporters to do the same. He says he respects her decision to drop out of the race, and his campaign is looking forward.
We want to engage her supporters and every single voter across the state in the months to come, and I'll work as hard as I can to build those relationships, build that trust.
The other Republican candidate running for governor, Betsy McCaughey, also stands behind Stewart's campaign suspension.
I haven't read the report in detail, but I heard enough to realize that it was in the best interests of the party and, more importantly, the state.
The report dropped just days before the Republican state convention, and both gubernatorial hopefuls say they're ready.
Instead of talking about Erin's spending, we're focused on the Democrat spending and how to stop it.
We feel excited and energized and, again, focused on what is most important, which is uniting our entire party and building a winning coalition for November.
State police confirmed they are involved in the investigation into Stewart's spending. However, she's not facing any charges at this point. She was, however, already in hot water when a report came out that she might have been mishandling taxes when she was here in office at City Hall. I did reach out to the current mayor's team, and they told me that they can't confirm if there's going to be a number of other reports that are coming out or any set time period for when we could expect to see those in terms of the audit they're doing here at City Hall. Reporter live in New Britain, Amanda Callahan, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.